Winnipeg Hockey Talk would like to welcome you to its live version of Random Thoughts on the Winnipeg Jets with host Harley Friesen and WinnipegHockeyTalk.com's owner and writer, Mitch Casper.
Welcome back to Winnipeg Hockey Talk. The Jets finally showed some life at home. A few call-ups are shaking things up, and the trade chatter is heating up. We've got a lot to get into today, but first I see there have been some new developments since the release of your article this morning. So how about we start off with that before jumping into this week's Random Thoughts?
Sure.
All right.
I didn't bother adding him to the written article, but this is what happened today. So let's start with the one on the right. Go ahead and you read that. That's funny. It makes me laugh.
We've relieved head coach Dean Evison and assistant coach Steve McCarthy of their duties and hired veteran NHL coach Rick Bowness as the club's head coach. All right.
Did you catch that? 70-year-old Rick Bowness is going to help out again. And, why not? Columbus, Dean Evison's no dummy. I'm shocked he got fired, but that's pro hockey for you. So good luck, Bones.
Yeah.
On the left is some interesting news. Jets have called up Isaac Phillips from the Moose, and they placed Colin Miller on injured reserve. He got nicked in the game the other night against New Jersey, so too bad for him, but opportunity for someone else. The thing that's interesting about this is Isaac Phillips was traded for Dmitry Kuzmin about exactly a year ago today with the Blackhawks. And the obvious call-up to me would have been Solomonson because he's the top guy down there as far as prospects go. So what do you think about this? Is there something's fishy
on
here?
Yeah.
You know,
Is there something that go deeper with this? What do you think?
Well, he's kind of, how do I say this? He's kind of a Luke Shen type player. 6'3", 205.
Big guy.
Yeah, Shenner asked for a trade or said he wouldn't mind. He didn't ask for a trade, but he said he wouldn't mind being moved since it looks like the Jets aren't going to be a playoff or Stanley Cup contender, so that's fine. Good luck. I hope we get something for him. So maybe they're going to give Isaac Phillips a bit of a dry run to see if he could possibly be a big body replacement.
Could be a possibility.
He could be a bottom of the roster guy. He, like I said, he's 6'3", 205. He's 23 years old. He's not a kid.
Yep.
So he's got man strength. Now I've seen him play. He's a brute.
Yeah.
But I just never thought of him as a prospect because when I was watching the Moose games, he just didn't seem to do anything great or bad, which is probably a good thing. I didn't go, that guy, whatever.
Yep.
But he's played 56 games over 4 seasons for Chicago. A little up and down. He's averaging, a dozen games a year. I do believe I have some info on him here.
Nice.
If you look at Hockey DB, you can see his career going back to junior. Nothing spectacular, but his last year in the OHL with Sudbury, 26 points in 63 games is respectable. Then you look at his numbers in Rockford, 25 points in 64 games and a few points with the Hawks, and then 23 points in 51 games again with the Ice Hogs, and then 14 points in 29 games. And this year he's got 13 and 33 with the Moose, and last year he had 8 points in 39 games getting his feet wet. And look, it's what I think is hilarious. Look at his plus minus last year with the Moose, minus 11. And they weren't a very good team. And the thing with the Moose is you're going to get a lot of guys that are high minuses because the Moose just don't score. So, But there it is in a nutshell. Nothing that jumps out at you negative or super positive outside of the fact he's 6'3", 205. You can't teach size. So
Yep, there's potential there.
if I looked at him and if I was being honest, I'd say he skates probably better than Luke Shen. But then again, he's 10 years, 15 years younger.
Yeah.
10
He's a
years
youngin'.
younger. So interesting. I'm looking, and the thing, you know what? This is the one thing there's a lot of things about the way the Jets run their business here, but they don't mess around. When they call a guy up, they play him. Used to drive me crazy with Jets 1.0 with John Ferguson and those guys. They call guys up and they sit in the press box. Like, what's the point? So this guy's going to play tomorrow night. I think it's tomorrow they play the Islanders. So I'm sure a lot of Jets fans are going to be looking forward to seeing him. So
Yeah, that's exciting.
Good luck, Isaac.
Super cool.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's jump into our random thoughts of this week with number one, of course. The Jets went 2-1-1 at home this past week. Woo! Couple wins in the
Well,
bag.
it's the first time they've been on the positive side of points.
Oh my gosh.
Played 4 games, got 5 points.
Yep. Yeah, that's right.
And the funny thing is, we'll get to it when I show the playoff odds, but they went into Sunday with a 9.3 chance of making the playoffs, and they won, and their odds dropped to 8-3, which really shocked me. But it's based on a lot of what the other teams in your conference and division do too. So
Right.
I guess with Nashville winning, that kind of affected things. So whatever. But nice to be on the positive side of the points this week. They, like I said, 2-1-1 is better than what they've been lately, and
Way better.
but they got a long way to go if they're thinking of starting a streak here and getting back into the race. But it's a start. You got to start somewhere, right? I mean, so 2-1-1, we'll take it.
Yep. Then that brings them to 17, 22, and 5. So still 9 points out of a playoff spot.
Sure.
Thought 2. The actual NHL trade deadline is March 6th. But with the Olympics running February 4th to February 22nd, there's a trade freeze coming. Some people are calling the period before it a mini deadline. I think it's about 12 days, you said, in between. So curious how that might shake things up.
Yeah, it is interesting because it's like having 2 trade deadlines within a month. Because a lot of teams, see, here's the thing. Whether you're a buyer or a seller, it's it's interesting because I guess it depends how many guys you have that went to the Olympics. So in the Jets case, I think we have 3. Some teams have way more. And I guess they want to see if their guys in the Olympics come back healthy. They're not going to make them. But then they got teams like that might want to be buyers for down the stretch. And see, because during that Olympic break, it's a trade deadline, it's a trade freeze, right?
Yep.
So now you can't even talk, or you can talk, but you can't make any deals.
Make any moves.
And there might be some GMs that's a quieter time. Let's get together and bang something out.
Yep.
I mean, it's not like I don't understand it in a way because there's a trade freeze, but yet where are they going to go? There's no games until the Olympics are over. It gives them a chance to, if they did get traded, to resettle, get acclimatized, whatever. To me, just I don't know why there's a freeze. Now, I could see there being a freeze if there's a trade freeze on guys that are in the Olympics. They don't want to hear they just got traded. But then
True.
again,
throw their game off or something.
yeah, and here's the thing too. If you got guys that are good enough to be playing in the Olympics, I doubt those are guys you want to trade, unless they're UFA's coming
smart.
up, and you don't want to do that to a guy when he's overseas and all of a sudden he reads his name.
Yep.
So they could put a trade moratorium on guys in the Olympics, but let the rest of them go because it just makes sense. If you guys notice this little annoying dog in front there, was trying to find something that was the least annoying for, instead of, how we always sit here, please subscribe, please like me, please love me. Just, there's your options. Click it. I don't know how it works. I was going to get my wife to do it as a sampler, but wrong side. Let's go.
I know our camera's backwards.
You got to go in reverse. Okay, look, see right there. Click it. You can subscribe. So if you're already subscribed, whatever. But every show, if you click the up button, that's nice. And then if you notice to the right of the subscribe, there's a little bell there. You click that; it'll give you notifications when we go live. And just in case something pops up and there's like a big trade and I want to yap, me, I like to talk, right? And they'll just let you know there. Or if we go early, sometimes we might go early because of a Jets game or something.
True.
But that's what that little dog is there. Anyway, carry on. Where were we? The trade deadline thing. Yeah. I think it's just weird, but I'm curious to see what happened, how it impacts some of the teams, and so let's see.
Yep.
February 6th, did I say?
I think it's February 4th to. Trade deadline is March 6th, but Olympics run February 4th to February 22nd.
So that's not that far away. That's what's the date today? Today's 12th or whatever.
Yeah.
So 2.5 weeks, there could be some deals. I'd like to see some deals. Fans love trades, so let's go.
All right, thought 3. It took an injury, but he finally got the call. The Jets recalled Danny Zilkin from the Manitoba Moose, and Hayden Fleury goes on IR retroactive to January 6th.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice for Danny Zilkin. It was nice to see his, his that video of him getting the phone call when he was at the barber.
Yeah.
That's quite exciting.
I know, that was
kind of gives you chills down your spine. It gives you one of those little warm and fuzzy moments for the kids, eh? But Danny's he's a hard-working kid for the Moose. I don't know what his end game is going to be as far as career, but his coach already says that he is a top 6 frontline AHL centerman, which is
a good compliment.
Yeah, well, every guy can't play in the NHL. I'm not saying he's not, but he's on the 4th line right now. He's comfortable there right now. It's no pressure on him. He gets it. He knows he has to be good defensively and be aggressive on the puck and blah blah. All the things the rookies are very aware of. But the interesting thing about him is, I think 8 or 10 years old when his family came over here from Russia, because they wanted to grow up in Canada and play hockey here, right? They thought it was a better chance for him to move up the ladder and get to pro hockey, right? So, things parents do for their kids, right? Yeah. So when you watch Danny Zilkin play, you'll go, well, he doesn't look like a Russian player. He doesn't have all those fancy dangler moves. He skates in straight lines like a North American Canadian player. Very hard on the puck. He's aggressive. He's physical. And he loves the game. So, good luck. Good for him. I like to see guys get called up, get a chance. Whether they're going to be a long-time NHLer or not, it means a lot. They can always say, you know what? Yeah. I was in the show.
Yeah, that's big. Thought 4 from the Put That in Your Pipe and Smoke It file. Jets fans are split. Some want to tank for a lottery pick. Others still believe in a miracle playoff run. The tankers say the hopeful fans are delusional, but thinking this team can be bad enough for long enough to get a lottery pick with Helly, Josh, Casey, Gabe, and Scheif, and the captain might be just as delusional.
So put that in your pipe and smoke it, as I said.
It's exactly what you have to do.
Well, here's the thing. It's not for anybody to comment or say what other fans' hopes and wishes are. I just think that's arrogant, except if I do it. But
it's like, I feel like really, you've done that a bit.
Like, who does it hurt? Who does it hurt for a Jets fan to hope they make the playoffs?
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt my feelings if the guys that want to tank hope they shit the bed and get the first overall pick or get a top 3 pick. That's fine too. But all I'm saying is, in this case, we're probably both delusional because they're going to finish somewhere in the murky middle.
Yeah.
And, end up with they're probably, let's say, this is what I hate, but whatever, it happens. They're going to finish out of the playoffs, get a pick around 12 or so. You can still get a good player there. That's where Josh was, I think, at 12. Mm-hmm. But, you can't. Can you imagine sitting there and hoping your team loses every night until you can get a better pick? It's different when there's 15 games left in the season and you're out and you're at the bottom of the list and you're hoping. That's what we were kind of doing when we got Patrick Laine a few years back. But this team with Connor Hellebuck, Scheifele, Casey, Lowry, all the guys, Gabe and Josh and that. Do you think that these guys, Scheif, do you think these guys are capable of being that bad for another 45 games to miss? We've seen them at their rock bottom, and even when they were at rock bottom, half of those games they lost, probably should have won them. There was all kinds of things, bad goaltending from Comrie, bad coaching decisions by Arniel.
Bad official calls.
Bad official call here. There's all kinds of little things that go into a losing streak. No puck luck. They had no puck luck at all.
Yep.
And if you notice the last couple of games, they got a couple stinky goals.
Yep.
Which shows the puck luck is changing a bit. Some of those are going in for them now. So whatever. Anyway, cheer for what you want. Don't ridicule other people for what they like. And just remember, we think you or not. Well, I shouldn't say we. I guess when I say we, I'm committing myself. Yep. I kind of think I'm on the hope they make the playoff side. So put that in your pipe and smoke it. Smoke it!
All right. Thought 5.
You okay now?
I'm fine. This could make things interesting around Jetsville, especially for the haters.
Yes.
You have a tweet from Drew Mindel.
From the Illegal Curve guys,
who says that Logan Stanley could be in a position to cash in this summer with a contract that could be worth $25 million or more. That's kind of ridiculous.
Not really. I mean, you're thinking about the amount of money?
Yes.
That's a lot of money.
It's a ridiculous amount of money to think about in any scenario.
Well, the thing that's funny about it is, and Drew's point is, can you imagine saying that a year ago?
In October?
There was people wanting to run him out of town. There still is. There's a lot of people that hate Big Stan, but he's played well enough to probably earn himself that contract. Now, the question is he going to be making that 5-year times $5 million, probably around 25? This is kind of like the market for him now. Is he making that here or somewhere else? Are his best days going to be playing for another team, or are they going to be here yet? Remains to be seen. I don't know if he's at his best. I mean, he's made big strides this season, and he's far from a perfect player. He's finally learning to use his size. He's aggressive. I don't think that's in his nature, but he showed some offensive chops that are interesting, and he's not the world's worst number 6 defenseman. I'd rather have him than Shen. And it's nice. I'll tell you one thing right now. The thing with Stanley right now, if the Jets decide to keep him, is he going to be a roster block for guys like Solomonson, Frage, Boumediene? That remains to be seen. I don't look at him. I think the roster block guys are guys like DeMello that are done, and Pionk has his good and bad, but whatever. But the thing is, I know Coach Arniel, and I know a lot of coaches like him, would take Stanley right now, just how he is, based on his size and toughness. Teams like to have a couple big guys that can handle the rough stuff. Lowry can't do all the fighting. I mean, there's hardly any fighting in the NHL nowadays, but you still need some big bodies to look after the younger guys, or send a message or retaliate for something. Stanley's willing to do that now. He's kind of grown into that. Like I say, it's not his game, probably not his favorite thing, but it never is. Once you fall into that niche and you do it well, it sticks with you, and that's what you are. You are what you are.
Yep.
He doesn't have a high enough skill level or he's not great enough defensively to say that he can play just on those merits. So I think there's a good chance the Jets keep him. I don't think he gets $5 million though. I think he'll get less. I could see him saying, "Piss on it, I'm going to free agency," and there'll be a lot of people in Winnipeg happy he's gone. It'll open up spots on the roster for some of the young defensemen. It'll make us a little vulnerable on the size and toughness. But in today's hockey, you really don't need a lot of that anyway. So it's going to be an interesting. Well, here it is. It'll be interesting to see because if the Jets aren't going to sign Stanley, he should be gone before the trade deadline or the mini trade deadline too. You're not going to hang on to him for nothing. If you can trade him right now and get, if you could get a 6th round pick and a bucket of pucks, you take it. Even if we can get Ring.
Yeah, throw it in there. Why not?
Yeah.
All right, thought 6. You have a pretty straight to the point question for Scott Arniel.
Yeah.
Can you believe you haven't been fired?
And I'm not being an ass when I'm saying that. I'm just going by when they were going through, when they lost that 12th game, like they went to, at the end of that streak, there was probably 3 games out of 5 or 4 that they should have won.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, you got to come out there in front of the media, put on a brave face. But there was times looking at him in post-game scrums or news conference, and even on the bench, looked haggard and tired. I'm sure these guys are up all night trying to figure something out. And he did look like a beaten man.
Oh boy.
And I even commented, I think, to some friends, or maybe even on last week's article. I can't remember everything I say. I talk so damn much about hockey. I don't know what I write or what I say half the time. But he looked defeated, and he looked like a beaten man, and he looked like a guy that was ready to get canned. I was not in favor of him getting fired. I just don't think you coach a team one year to win the President's Trophy, and next year you forget how to coach. No, what he did was he basically took over what Rick Bowness implemented here and carried it on. And maybe Bones had more of a hammer down with the guys that stuck with them more. Arniel did a good job last year keeping it going, but somehow it got lost in the shuffle. You know, new players, bad signings by Chevy, special teams off a bit, and you add it all up, and we are where we are.
That's what you get.
Right? So yeah, I'm just, and so tongue in cheek, I'm asking the question. I mean, he's not to it yet. They could go on another streak and they could can him, but I'm just wondering during that stretch when nothing is going right, if he can believe he still has a job.
Yep. Who knows if he still wants it?
Yeah.
Thought 7. Scott Arniel looks like he finally has a working, functioning second line.
Yes.
Jonathan Taves, Cole Perfetti, and Gabe Velarde have breathed new life into this Jets team and will hopefully get even better in the second half of the season. Their early impressions look positive.
Yeah.
That's some good news.
Yeah, as soon as I saw, you know, on TSN how they do the lines, and even on in Twitter or X in the mornings, the guys that cover practice, they tweet out what the lines were during practice. And when I saw that line, I went, that's a line that can work. There's a nice mix on there. And of course, I'm thinking to myself, that's if, you know, JT sort of starts playing the way he's looked the last 2 games. And that's if Perfetti can get back to what he is. And he was starting to show some signs. And of course, Gabe is Gabe. He's solid. And I thought, that's a nice mix. They could be interesting. And lo and behold, and nice surprise, they've looked real good. They've looked the last 3-4 games, or since they've been together.
Yeah.
They look like...
it was a good switch up.
Yeah, they look like they got something. So
There's some chemistry there.
Yeah, now that's one thing to have it short term.
Yeah.
Let's see if they can keep it together and keep going on it.
Yeah, you need that long term.
Yep.
Thought 8. The Jets seem to give up a power play goal every game and go 0 on the power play for far too often. When both special teams are struggling, it's no mystery why so many 1-goal games were lost.
Yeah, I mean,
That's a big thing.
It's huge. And
Yeah.
I think what I'm going to do in a couple of weeks, what I'll do during the Olympic break when there's not a lot of news, I'm going to do a graph on both of the Jets' special teams.
Oh, yeah?
And I'll compare it to last year. If you look, because you know how I post them, I guess we're coming up to that soon. I post the stats on their special teams and the goaltenders. And if there was a graph, we'd see it like this, going down, because their special teams were at the top of the league in the first couple months of the
Yeah,
season.
they were.
Now they're middle of the pack at best. And the stat that's just to me is really brutal is the penalty kill. I will get into that when we start talking about the stats. But yeah, when you look at all those 1-goal games they lost, like get a power play goal here or there, kill a penalty here or there, maybe your record's 500 instead of 0 for 12. So it's special teams are a huge part of today's hockey.
Yep. Thought 9. We got our playoff odds. As of Monday morning, the Jets' playoff odds sit at 8.3%. Slim and none, and Slim just left town.
I said the same thing last week. I just figured it was apropos.
Yep.
If you look there,
That's
we
a
started
big
the
dip.
week at 9-3. We ended the week at 8-3. Let's see. We dipped to 4.2 after the loss to Vegas or Edmonton. Then we're up to 9. And this is the part that's puzzling. So who did we beat to snap the streak? LA. So
Yes.
when we beat LA, we went from 4.2 to 9, right? Next day we didn't play. We went up 0.2%, right? It's weird. we went up 0.2. Yesterday we won.
And now we're down.
And we went down to 8-3. So, like I said, there's a lot of bearing on who else plays that night.
Yeah.
I'll be interested to see what we are tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, maybe we went up. Not a lot of hope in Jets with those numbers.
Oh, man. Moving on to thought 10. Things that make you go, Number 1. Some fans and even some media are wondering why Scott Arniel hasn't split the Mark Scheifele and Kyle Connor pairing.
Yeah.
Your thoughts?
Well, come
Why
on,
would that
people.
be?
People, please. There's a certain faction of people in this city that they don't like it because the rumor's been out there for a couple of years. And it goes back to when Blake Wheeler was here, that these guys want to play together. So Wheeler's gone, but they rotate every forward in and out. They've tried all kinds of lines in the blender, but they've never split up Scheifele and Connor. And Scheif and Connor love to play together. They're magic together. They know how to play with each other. I think Scheifele could play with anybody, if I was being honest.
All right.
I don't think Casey can, though. Casey's kind of a driver, but he's not really a driver. He can skate, he can game the zone. He actually even makes nice plays, but he makes nice plays with Scheif because they know each other's games.
Yeah.
You watch a Jets game, Scheifele gets the puck behind the net. Scheif's got to be one of the best passers of the puck in this league. I cannot believe he's not going to the Olympics. But how many times does he put a nice little saucer pass into the slot for Casey? Casey just knows where to go. He finds that hole in the zone or the open ice or the quiet zone, the soft zone. He sits there and you can't sit there forever like you're camped out. It's like a quick hit and miss. Scheif knows he's going. The puck is there, boom, in the net. They're magic together. Now, what was the question again? Why has he not split up?
Yeah.
You can say what you want about Arniel. Okay, he does a lot of dumb shit, but he's not a complete idiot.
Yeah.
Why would anybody in their right mind want to, you got no scoring as it is. Why would you separate two of the most dynamic players that feed off each other and make it even worse? Come on, people. And this is media guys too, even our press guys. Some of our press guys wonder. I wonder. The haters wonder because they want a controversy saying that Scheifele is greedy and he only wants to play with Casey. Fuck you guys. You know what? Get a life, and if you go so much about coaching, go volunteer some of your time and start coaching some kids, and you'll see what it's like. You'll see what it's like. Why would anybody with half a brain separate two guys like that? What, to make the punks happy? To make the haters happy? To make the troublemakers happy? No. Like, you don't, okay? And if you can't deal with that, put that in your fucking pipe and smoke that too, because you're morons. Rant over.
Couple cha-chings on that one.
Yeah, and that wasn't even a put your.
Yeah, it wasn't even part of the folder.
It wasn't a pipe. It wasn't even the pipe and smoke it, but it turned out to one.
Something should be.
Yep.
All right, so we're now turning to special teams in Thought 11, and then also I think we'll check out how the goaltenders are doing as well.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, specialty. Like, power play below 20% is no good.
Yeah.
PK below 85% is no good. Face-offs are good. So here's the deal. I mean, you're not always going to have everything going at the same time. They always say it's easier to defend than it is to score. Scoring a goal is hard. It's hard even on the power play. But if you're going to have, I think, personally, if you're going to have one part of your special teams that's not working as good as the other, and I know it's frustrating, but I would settle for a weaker power play than a weaker penalty kill.
Yeah.
I don't know how many games we've watched this year where the Jets are literally 10 seconds, and in the last few seconds of a penalty and the puck goes in the net after they've done a pretty good job for a minute and 45 seconds. It's so deflating to watch that. I'd rather have a great PK and keep the puck out of my net,
Yeah.
and then have to rely on a power play that runs at 30% like the Oilers, and that's why the Oilers lose. Well, I shouldn't say that's a cheap shot, because they made it to the final twice, but maybe that's why they lost in the finals. You don't get as many power plays, and you're playing against elite teams that know how to kill a penalty. So the Oilers live and die on their power play. It's pretty darn good. I think we have the tools to have a great power play. I'm not so sure I like their power play this year compared to last and even earlier in the year. There's some things they were doing that I thought had potential, and they've gone away from it. I don't know why, but so that's that. Goaltending, Hellebuck and Comrie. Comrie's a sieve. I don't like him anymore. I've completely disowned him. He was yapping last week about, oh, we had fun, that's why we went piss on you. You had a chance to have fun during that 10-game hosing you were in front of. You stunk. You let your team down. I know they played like crap in front of you, but you gave them no reason to think that they were going to win. You were terrible. Kelly, since he's been back, he's been average at best. I'll tell you right now, the way he's playing, he ain't going to start in the Olympics. Ottinger's going to start. Helly's been mediocre at best.
Yeah.
But let's just say this though, before people start, burning up my balcony with bow and arrows and stuff.
Cutting you down.
And average Helly is still pretty darn good.
Yeah.
He hasn't been great. You look at a lot of the goals that have beaten him this last couple of weeks. He's not all there, but he's still Helly. But he's playing himself out of an Olympic starter, I think. Well, I think what's going to happen in the Olympics is they're going to rotate the goalies, and then getting towards the medal rounds in the playoffs when it's elimination, it's going to be some tough decisions.
Be really choosy.
Yeah. Next.
Next are good,
The bad.
the bad, and ugly. For sure.
Great team. I think I might watch this week.
It's a good rewatch.
Yeah, it's a classic.
Well, let's start off with some good. Cole Perfetti has looked more like his usual self the past few games, which is great news for the second line.
Yep. I thought last game he was outstanding. He's carrying the puck. He can always see the ice. And I don't know if this trio has ever been together. And if it hasn't, what were you waiting for, Arniel? I mean, Scott Arniel's got to stop treating. He's got to stop treating JT like he's a fourth liner. Jonathan Toews is a top six forward. Let him work his way into it. Give him some decent wingers. I think he's got him now. I like this line. And Toews is starting to show some of that old flash. And I just like the looks of this second line. Man, I'm hoping they can keep it going. Because if you get Cole Perfetti playing at his best, this line could be really interesting. Could be interesting, yeah.
Well, unfortunately, we have some bad. The Jets defensemen do a poor job of keeping Helly's crease area clean. It's like a fire drill in his crease.
Yeah, I figured they should just put up a bus stop right in front of his crease and just say, anybody can
come on over.
Yeah, I mean, like last game, that goal that, I can't remember who scored it. Might have been Nico Hischier. He was the one who established the presence in the crease. There was another devil there too, and there's poor Pionk on the other side of them trying to move one of them out. That can't happen. But that's another story too, because I don't think those guys should be allowed to be in the crease like that. That's why it'd be nicer to get a bigger defenseman that can box these guys out, move them out. That's where some of our small defensemen, they struggle, and it's not their fault. They're small. Like Josh does a good job of fronting guys. He knows how to do it. Pionk tries hard sometimes, and when he's playing well, he gets those guys boxed out, doesn't let them in there. I'm always amazed how Adam Lowry, Stanley, and Shen lose. I shouldn't say they lose all of them, but they do. They lose an awful lot of net front battles where they shouldn't, because they're big, strong guys. There's got to be a technique to it, and well, there is a technique to it, but I don't like our defense. I've said it for 3 years. This is not a defense that can win the Stanley Cup unless our team scores its way out of our defensive deficiencies. Some of these smaller, I'm not even going to say smaller, these defensemen, just our defensemen just aren't very good at keeping the crease clear. It's like a bus stop there. Like I said, let's just pitch a tent and maybe camp out too. Squatters' rates. Seems like everybody in the league does.
All right, on to the ugly. Helly handling the puck is like watching a dog trying to hump a football.
Yeah, you ever have that relative that comes over and your dog wants to dry hump his leg? That's what
unfortunately.
That's what Helly looks like trying to handle the puck. My God, stay in the net, man.
Do your job.
No, he went through a stretch there where he was improving, doing so much better. I'm going to have to go into the storage room and find Helly's shock collar, put it back on him. Every time the Jets seem to get in trouble in their own end, it's because he's touched the puck behind the net.
Yeah.
Yet he makes some good plays sometimes, but he makes way more bad plays than good. He's just, Helly, stop. Please, just stop the puck.
Leave it to the
players. Or do that in the Olympics when you're playing Canada in the semifinal.
Oh, God.
It is ugly, though.
Yeah.
It's butt ugly. Leave my leg alone. You're shaking them off.
All right. Thought 14.
Yeah.
Another thing that makes you go, The guys from Spittin' Chicklets pose this question. Are the tough old school Canadian players from blue collar families getting priced out of hockey in Canada, and it's now all soft rich kids?
Yeah, yes, for sure. I don't know. We're going to put this on, and I'm going to see if I'm going to turn the mic up a little bit, and we'll see if you guys can hear this. It's a 2-minute clip, and it's Colby Armstrong, Keith Yandel, Ryan Whitney, and who's the fourth? There's 4 guys in Spittin' Chicklets. Oh, Paul Bizinet. Biz Nasty. So listen to this. Listen to this, folks. It's a compilation that they put together and posted on Twitter, and it says, like I said, have we lost some of our the old school hockey culture?
Typical Canada. We overcorrected way too far. We're just all skilly. Like, we lost the dogs. Now the men are going to have to go to the Olympics and show the old school style how it's done. And we got guys that do that. Like, you got McKinnon, Crosby, McDavid, all these guys through the line. But like, we lost that with our hockey. Is that because the prices are too much and they're spoiled rich kids, like everyone's saying online? I think it just comes down to development and what we value. Like, do we value?
I think that's a legit argument. And this is coming from somebody who has money, but you can't tell me that these kids, Biz, and you brought this up, they can't afford to play hockey and get priced out, aren't a lot of times tough as nails, blue collar kids who are looking to go out there and put guys through the wall.
I think that the cost of it is alienating a lot of like good athletes, especially in the country of Canada. And also like, obviously they're like the price point, you seem to be of a certain level of like quote unquote privilege. Your parents have obviously worked hard enough where they can afford essentially 15, 20 grand a year of disposable income if you want like all the resources being provided. And like, I don't know. I feel like most kids that are coming from that type of money, maybe they lack a little bit of that, like that grit, right? It's not essentially a survival instinct.
You know what's not good? Like being a hard-nosed player. That's not classified as being a good player anymore. Like they don't see the intangibles in that anymore. They'd rather take the kid that can dangle and can do all this stuff.
At the highest level, they do, though. These little kids should turn on a Florida Panthers game and watch Sam Bennett.
When they're teaching kids at the bottom levels, if you got a kid that's blue collar and that has those attributes, they're going, no, you can't. It's 2026, buddy. You can't do that anymore. Like you can't do the hitting thing anymore. Wow, this kid we don't like that. That's not cool. Like, and in the culture of kids on teams too, that kid sucks. They'll say like, that kid sucks. I see it. It's a joke. You should embrace a kid that's like that and be like, okay, we got something here. Let's make him sick at what he already can do. But as a culture in hockey now, we go, no, that's not hockey. That's not hockey anymore. And then the Czechs come in, lift their legs and piss on us. And it's like, what are we doing here? Like, what are we losing? We lost it.
Well, what do you think about that, folks? There's a lot of truth in there. Maybe some of it's a bit exaggerated, but I tend to agree. The cost of hockey, well, you played wingette, and it's not AAA bantam or AAA midget, but just playing what you played, which would be the equivalent to AA, AAA wingette, but yours is probably about 75% cheaper than hockey. Hockey's ridiculous. It's stupid. And yes, they've priced out a lot of kids. Yeah. Playing basketball, all you got to do is buy a pair of good shoes.
Yeah, true. There's a lot to go into equipment-wise, for sure.
And ice time, and then they want to go on trips and tournaments. It's just, and they, I believe that. I believe they priced a lot of the. And then, is there a correlation between a kid that grows up in a tough area of town and how he plays hockey? And is there a correlation between the kids with the silver spoon in their mouths and how they play hockey? I think there is.
I think so too, because I've seen it.
That's an oversimplification and maybe a little bit exaggerated, but that's when Canada lost that game to the Czechs. It's never, they're kids. Let's face it, they're kids. But they're 19 and 20-year-old kids or 18, 19-year-old kids that are looking to make big bucks in the NHL. They're pampered. They've had everything handed to them. You just don't become good because your parents are rich. You got to have some God-given talent. You got to put some work ethic into it too. But
some passion.
Well, yeah, there's that. Your speaker volume is fine because it's loud when you play the vid or hit the dollar sign. I guess they're complaining a little bit that
we're too quiet.
I can turn it up a bit. It's funny, I buggered up the chat today. There's no chat there, right? But in saying that, you don't want to be on. You really don't want to be on Twitter the day after Canada loses a game. It was ugly. And
it's not safe out there.
Yeah,
people are saying anything.
I understand people are frustrated. We haven't won a goal. But that's what happens when you let the whole world come into Canada and play in our junior leagues. Yeah. We're making hockey better worldwide at our own expense. I said, they're just kids. They want to win. I don't know that they're capable or know how to win playing old school Canadian hockey. You have to. Do you remember me last week? I think I mentioned that, these Czech kids, and I mentioned the Czech kids too. A lot of these Czech kids, you don't see a lot of Swedes. You see a few Finnish players, few Swiss players, German players, actually all kinds of players, but just not a lot of Swedes, Russians. They all come over here, and in the junior leagues here, you're allowed to have 2 or 3 imports. A lot of guys come over and they play in the tier 2 leagues here, and there's no fear factor anymore for these kids. I mean, a lot of time these Czech kids, they come into Canada, they're shitting their pants, looking across the rink, see the size of the guys, and we come down and just pound the crap out of them. And I like how Colby Armstrong said, we've gotten too skilly. Is there such a word as skilly? But I know what he's saying. He's saying, oh boy, am I going to get myself in trouble today. Let's go back. This is what I said about Kyle Connor. I've said this, and I said the Jets will never win a cup with him because he disappears in the playoffs. He's all skill. And I said I would take one of the Kachuk brothers over him in a million years. I would take them because they'll be there in the corners grinding, playing a 200-foot game. They won't sulk. And, well, I don't think Casey sulks. He gets frustrated because he doesn't know how to get to the hard spots. He doesn't know how to play physical. He's not a big guy. But you can't... There's that demographic of hockey fans, and they're all younger. They think like I'm a dinosaur. Guys that think like me are dinosaurs, but they think they fucking invented hockey. There's guys out there that think if you had a dozen Kyle Connors, you win the cup.
No.
I'm sorry.
Hate to break it to you.
Yeah, you need a mix. A good GM will have a mix of skill, run the power play. You need a team that has some sack. You need, and you know what the best is? When you have a guy that's got skill and he's got jam. He plays it like a Kachuk. Did I just mention that? Yeah. Guys like that. They show up every night. They play hard.
Yeah.
And you can't build a team just with skill. Skill is good. Skill that works hard is better, but a better than average play that works his nuts off is like gold. It's like gold. So there's different ways to build a hockey team, and unfortunately, you do need a little bit of everything. And I don't think that's unfortunate. It's just using your brains. Don't get yourself a bunch of guys that can't defend themselves. Don't get yourself a bunch of guys that get run out of the rink. Don't give yourself a bunch of guys that have no fight back. A good GM will have a good mix, and that's how you win. That's how you win in the NHL. That's how you win in any league.
I was going to say, in almost any game, that's going to get you.
Yep.
All right, Thought 15. We have a prospect update. Winnipeg Jets draft picks Sasha Boumediene and Alphonse Frage have won gold medals at the U20 World Hockey Championships. Boumediene scored the game winner in the gold medal game, and Frage put up 7 assists in the tournament, quarterbacking the Swedish power play. Nice. Both Jets prospects were integral parts of Team Sweden's success. The future is looking bright, people.
Yeah, Alphonse Frage is... he had 7 points, could have had 15. He's a small, diminutive defenseman. He's a lot like Josh Morrissey, but smaller. He's not as good defensively as Josh. And he reminds me a lot of some of the young Finnish defensemen we've had, like Ville and some of the other guys we had that can run a power play. He's magic on the power play. He sets up the one-timers. He's not a big guy on shooting. Could he run an NHL power play? Possibly, depending on what the mix is. Sasha, to me, is probably the better prospect. He's better defensively. He's actually a lot bigger if you compare them, but he's not huge himself. He has pretty decent offensive ability, just a good mix of everything. I think he probably makes the team before Frage does. But Alphonse Frage was drafted a year earlier, so he'll...
Yeah,
know,
2024.
yeah, so he'll... it's going to be interesting. You know, you figure with... we might have to get some Swedish flags because you get these two,
Yeah.
these two guys plus Salomonson. That's
True.
3 right there, and they're all very capable of playing. I say Bohemian and Salomonson will be the first 2 to play, though. They were real good for Team Sweden in the juniors. Very good.
Awesome. Sounds promising.
Yep.
All right, now on to our viewer questions. That wraps up our random thoughts. So, first up, how does JAD start for us in the playoffs last year, and now he's nowhere to be heard of again?
That's
What kind of
bad.
management and coaching is that? Make sense of it to us.
That JAD is Jared Anderson Dolan. It's bizarre. He made the team out of camp. He got injured, in and out, blah blah blah. So on a team that won the President's Trophy, in Game 1 he was in our lineup,
Yeah.
and this year it's poof. Where is he?
Into the
He's
wind.
playing for the Manitoba Moose. He's not playing bad, but
Okay.
this guy was he's there and now he's not there. And that just goes to show you, and I get it, it's very easy to rotate out a guy, more so the 4th line guys, but even guys in the bottom 6. You can put them in and out and rotate them how you want, and it's going to basically end up being the same thing. And that's why the Gus Bus ain't playing. Gus Bus should be here too. He can do everything these other guys are doing. And really, to be honest, when they called up Jilkin, they probably should have called up Gus. He's still their best sort of veteran forward. Yeah, so it's interesting. Those I had a rule when I coached. If I was coming back with the same team, I always felt that my 10, 11, and 12 forwards and my 5 and 6 defensemen could be replaced like that by guys we had to cut the year before. There was sometimes you kept guys because there wasn't that much between them. There's no reason to have to stay pat, and I think that's how it is with the Jets. It's not that they forgot about him. They know they got him. They know where he is, and if they need him, he's right there. And the thing is, too, it's up to him now that he's down there to force his way back up. Play so good that you say, God, we got to call him up. He deserves a shot. So that's how it works. I don't think it's a negative thing. I just think it's part of life in the NHL and the AHL being a bottom tier lineup guy.
There you have it. All right. Is the Jets coaching staff putting too much emphasis on defense first, smothering the offense skills set of some players?
Well, based on the lack of offense, I'd say no. But maybe a lot of these guys were so conscious of making defensive mistakes that they cost them some offense. I don't know. I mean, Perfetti was terrible for a stretch there defensively. It was always like he was a half a second or a second too late for his check, and the puck ended up in the net. And could that be true? I would say yes. And if that's a problem, then we got the wrong players.
Yeah.
Next.
Well, the next one is for me, actually.
No way.
From Ben.
You got fans?
I guess so. All right. Well, I'm here to explain some ringette terms and ringette rules and all that sort. Yeah. I've been asked, can I explain what a free pass in ringette is and how it works? Yes, I would love to. Right. So a free pass in ringette is basically how the game restarts after certain stoppages. Kind of like a face-off in hockey, except there's no face-offs in ringette. This can happen from any of the 5 free pass circles on the ice. There's 2 in each zone and 1 in the middle. And depending on what's going on in the game and what the ref is calling, depends where it's placed. So game stoppages like a goal, a penalty, or any other rules violation are when a free pass is awarded. One player on the ice takes the free pass, and once the ref sets it down on the ice, the player has to be the one to pass it. When the player is in the circle with the ring, everyone else has to stay outside the circle, especially the defending team. Now, while that player is in the circle with the ring, the other players around the ice are setting up a play that they may be called before or, practice. Teammates are moving, cutting, curling around the ice and trying to get open for the player in the circle to pass to, while defenders are usually playing tight one-on-one coverage and trying to block the passing lanes. So the player in the circle has to read the ice quickly and make a smart pass before the 5-second clock runs out. It's not just a restart. It's kind of like mini chess game happening in real time. The ring has to completely clear the circle before anyone else can touch it. So there's no skating it out yourself, no help from teammates inside the circle, and no holding on to it. If any of that happens, possession goes to the other team. And usually this whole setup exists to keep the game fast and pass focused. Passing is huge in ringette. You have to pass at every blue line. There's no offside, but you do have to pass at every blue line. And so movement and timing and teamwork are everything in ringette. So that's a free pass. Thanks, Ben, for including me.
I used to go watch all the games. It's an interesting sport. I'd love to see men playing ringette with hitting.
Yeah, I guess so.
The thing about ringette, though, is ring possession, like puck possession, it's a little easier because if you're strong, you can put your weight down on that ice, and it's hard to get around a guy and poke it up. So that's what I found interesting about the game. But yeah, it's an interesting sport.
Yeah, I think so. Played for 12 years.
Yeah. Until you got knee problems.
Yeah, until I turned an old granny.
Yeah.
Well, that's going to do it.
I think there was a question from Sparky.
Oh. Well,
I'll see if I got it.
We'll double check.
Oh yeah, here he goes. This is from Sparky.
Yes.
Why does the Winnipeg coaching staff keep playing the top line in dying minutes when the numbers show their poor defensive? Yeah. I think a lot of times he likes to let those guys get out there so they can get their empty net cookies, but that's not a wise move. He likes to, maybe he feels their speed makes it more probable they'll get the puck, but when it doesn't work, it looks bad. And what Sparky's saying is not just at the end of the game, but like the other one there where they gave up that goal at the end of the period.
Yeah.
That's what's frustrating. Really frustrating. So I'll give you an example. So they had the Scheifele on with just under 2 minutes left. Excuse me. Maybe the plan was to have them out there and then throw out Taves and Lowry and the face-off guys and a couple grinders. But what ended up happening is we iced the puck a couple times. So you got to remember, if we ice the puck, can't change. Yeah. And that's when they get caught. They ice it, they're tired, and they can't change. And that's one of the smart rules the NHL did, was you want to ice it, you're going to be tired, and unless you have a timeout, you're going to be back in your end with tired guys. So, yes, somebody's got to be aware of who's on, who's next, and who's next. Mm-hmm. And at this level of hockey, you can't worry about hurt feelings and guys not being on the ice for empty netters, get their cookies. No. Scheifele is fine, I think. He's not as good on the face-off as obviously Lowry or JT, but Casey gambles a lot. He's fast. He's like a wet noodle in the corners. So, yeah, I don't like him when we need a puck battle. He's probably don't get me wrong, he's really improved and he does try. He's trying a lot harder, but he's probably one of our worst defensive forwards. So that's what it is, Sparky.
There you have it. I think Ben's saying, guys playing ringette, though, they'd probably spear each other with the stick. Yeah.
I drop them. Try one.
Oh, man.
You know what? I wished I was good enough to still play and get one of these Trevor Zegras guys trying one of those Michigan goals. They'd be eating my Sherwood right across the throat. I think it was Chris Pronger about a month ago who said, try that when I'm playing and see what happens. Try that. Come on.
Oh,
try
gosh.
it. Anyway, I look forward to these Mondays. You know, I'm such a fucking, I don't know. I just, these talking hockey it's fun. I hope this little dog,
Our little friend.
I hope he didn't bug you. I like him. Nobody clicked it though. Ben, Sparky, if you're there, hit that like button for crying out loud. Who else is in the room?
All right. Well, that's going to do it for this week's episode of Winnipeg Hockey Talk. A better week on the ice, but still a long road ahead. Thanks for tuning in.
The long and winding road
Yes, exactly.
led me to your door. You know, I
Lovely lullaby.
I never asked for much in life. My mom can sing. Why, please, I'm in my dying years. Give me a couple of years of having a singing voice. Give the old man, throw me a bone. What the hell? Anyway.
Give him what he wants.
Yeah, it was great having you.
Yeah, this was fun.
Let your friends know, subscribe and all that's
Yeah.
regular stuff, and
we'll be back next week to break it all down again.
well, there's there's a good chance we will. So,
Wait, Sparky has another one. What you do, something the money. See what he said there.
Sparky.
Might have to pull the screen up.
Oh, what?
Bear with
Okay,
us.
there's a heart sign. Oh, what do you do with the money? I'm probably gonna have a draw if I get to a certain amount of followers or subscriber, and they can put that money towards some WHT merch. I'll get you a golf shirt.
You can be as cool as me.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right. See you next week. Go Jets, go.
The microphone is